With Black Friday sales just around the corner, should you buy a gaming laptop now or wait? On one hand, you don't want to miss out on saving money with a great deal. But then on the other hand, you don't want to miss out on better performance coming from early 2024 models. Just a couple of months away now. So what do? Buy now or wait? I've been talking to the big laptop brands to find out what they've got coming in 2024. And honestly, for most people, if you do need something now, take advantage of these sales and buy now. We're updating our GamingLaptop.deals website multiple times a day over the holiday sale period, so that you can save the most amount of money on your next gaming laptop. Check it out with the link below. Alright, so new gaming laptops normally get announced at CES in January, which at this point is just 2 months away. I'm not going to name any specific brand, but people from at least 3 of the major gaming laptop brands have told me not to expect any new Nvidia GPUs for laptops in 2024, at least at the start of the year for CES. They've all told me that 2024 gaming laptops will still primarily be using Nvidia RTX 40 series GPUs that are already out, which isn't too surprising, as CES in January 2024 is only 12 months since RTX 40 laptop GPUs first hit the scene. Just for some brief context which might help, RTX 30 series laptop GPUs were first announced at CES in 2021. Then a year later at CES, we got the refresh for RTX 3070 Ti and RTX 3080 Ti. Then a year after that at CES was the RTX 40 series laptop announcement. So based on this pattern, and the fact that there's quite a big performance gap between RTX 4070 and 4080 gaming laptops, I was kind of expecting to see an RTX 4070 Ti or RTX 4070 Super announcement at CES 2024, especially after all the recent rumors of RTX 40 Super desktop cards. But apparently that's not happening, at least from all the brands I've talked with. Now, that's not to say that we won't see a GPU like this sometime later in 2024, it just won't be at the start of the year during CES. Laptop GPUs usually come out sometime after the desktop version, so it sounds like, at least initially, we're going to have the same laptop GPUs as last year, which means no major performance improvements for gaming laptops in 2024. And even if we do get a refresh, like an RTX 4070 Super or something, that's just going to sit between a 4070 and 4080. It's not like it's going to be a whole brand new tier of performance. They'd have to go for like a 4090 Ti laptop or something like that. And I don't even want to imagine how expensive that's going to be. And this is the main reason why I think it's pretty safe to go ahead and buy a gaming laptop now if you need one, to take advantage of those sales. It is certainly possible that we might see cheaper prices next year that are even lower than Black Friday sales, but honestly I wouldn't expect that for a few months. Generally speaking, the Black Friday sales are the best we see all year. The alternative is if you want to wait till like 2025 for RTX 50 series laptops, which if I had to guess based on the past is approximately when we would see those. And as a new architecture, that probably would give us more of an FPS boost too. But yeah, that's not expected in laptops for more than a year. Now, it's certainly possible that everyone I've talked to is under an Nvidia embargo, and they aren't allowed to tell me that there are new GPUs coming. That would make perfect sense. But I don't think that's the case, because most of them just told me up front. It's not like I went out of my way to ask about this. And just being completely honest, most of the time when there is new hardware a few months away, they tend to tell me about it anyway, even if they're not supposed to. They just count on my discretion of not telling anyone else, which I really do appreciate because it helps me plan content and know what's coming. Plus, it's kind of in these brands' best interest to let me know pretty soon if there are new gaming laptops coming, rather than just flat out say there's no GPUs at all. Some of these brands want to sponsor us to fly to CES in Las Vegas, but at the moment we're probably just not going to go unless we get a really good deal, because it just doesn't sound like there's going to be enough new laptops to cover. At least not to justify the 24 hours it takes for me to leave my house and get to Vegas. Plus then I have to do that on the way back, so 48 hours of total travel time. Not to mention staying in Vegas for a week and dealing with jet lag. So yeah, if there was anything super amazing coming out, I probably would have at least been hinted towards something. Now, that's not to say that there won't be any brand new gaming laptops. It sounds like there might be some new models. But for the most part, it sounds like they're going to be using existing GPUs. And I haven't heard anything about new AMD laptop GPUs either. I mean, they only just announced the new RX 7900M, their current top-end mobile GPU, which is RDNA 3 based, and we're not expecting the next gen on the AMD desktop side until sometime next year. And again, laptops generally come out after desktop parts. So if I had to guess, it's probably also going to be 2025 until we see next-gen AMD Radeon graphics for laptops, same as Nvidia. So then, what will new gaming laptops in 2024 actually have then? Honestly, so far, it seems like it's mostly going to be a CPU improvement. Intel have of course said that they're launching their new Meteor Lake laptop CPUs on December 14th. but I believe these max out at 6 P-cores and 8 E-cores. So from a core and thread count perspective, kinda like a 13700H. Current rumors suggest that higher-end Intel 14th Gen HX processors will just be a basic refresh of 13th Gen, just like they did on the desktop side. So almost no performance improvement in other words. And I've also heard rumors that AMD are bringing forward their Ryzen 8000 laptop CPU launch to December. I guess they can't let Intel's Media Lake have all the fun. Granted, I think AMD will still be using their Zen 4 architecture for these, so it's probably not going to be that different from Ryzen 7000, unless they do like a Zen 4 Plus or something. But even then, it's probably not going to be anything super different. So for the most part, there's probably not going to be that big of a performance gain when it comes to laptop CPUs either. I think Media Lake will probably be more common in more thin and light style laptops rather than gaming laptops. I'm sure we will see some gaming laptops with it, but the higher end stuff I would expect to be HX still. Now, don't get me wrong, new CPUs are of course welcome, especially if Intel's battery life claims with Media Lake hold true, because that sounds like it's going to be one of their biggest improvements in years. I did a video talking about that here, so check that out if you want to know more. But yeah, I think the simple fact is for most people buying a gaming laptop, there isn't really any point waiting for these new processors. And even if these new laptop processors get announced in December 2023, and then we see the laptops in person for the first time at CES in January 2024, it's probably still going to be a few months before these laptops actually hit the shelves and become available to buy. At least that's what's happened in the past. Not to mention, when they first do become available, they're usually way more expensive compared to what we see just a few months later. This is really something that we saw this year. Like we had MSI's GF63 with RTX 4050 launch for $1,000, but then just a few months later, it's already down to $650. So even if you did decide to wait till early next year, you're probably gonna have to wait even more to actually get one at a reasonable price. And this would be part of the reason why 41% of gaming laptops that you guys bought through the links below our videos this year were last gen 2022 models. So then if new GPUs are out of the question and new CPUs aren't particularly interesting, then what do we have to look forward to for 2024 gaming laptops? It would just have to be other small refinements, chassis improvements, bigger batteries, better screens, maybe we'll start getting 16:10 OLED, and more RGB. You know, the things that matter. Like I said, there probably will be some brand new models. But I'm also not expecting a whole lot of big changes, because they usually hold on to those sort of things for the new big GPU launches, because they want their new products to look as enticing as possible. So if you do need a new gaming laptop, I think it makes sense to take advantage of the November sales, instead of waiting around for next year. And again, you can find the best sales at our gaminglaptop.deals website, link below the video. Based on all the information that I've got at the moment, it doesn't sound like any brand new technology is gonna come out at CES in January and completely take us by surprise, delivering us way better FPS for way less money. That's just not gonna happen. I'd only really wait till next year if you really do want the better CPU performance, or in the case of Intel Media Lake, better battery life, or if you otherwise just want to see what other improvements happen. Like maybe we finally start getting more OLED, I don't know, or maybe more PCIe Gen 5 storage, that kind of thing. Basically more subtle improvements that aren't going to improve your FPS in games, like we would see if we were actually getting new GPUs. If you've decided that it is time to buy your next gaming laptop, then check out this video next, where I've tested some of the best gaming laptops in 2023. I also go into the bad models that you should avoid, so I'll see you in that one next.